Phoebe Waller-Bridge turns everything she touches to crap, and she doesn't care what beloved characters are ruined in the process as long as things go the way she wants, and we've known for a while she's been tapped for the Tomb Raider series on Amazon, but in a recent interview she said Lara Croft has been a bit unrealistic in the past because she has big breasts, and they're considering how she will look in the series, and they're really taking everything into consideration right now. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, of course, I am using an archive of this because I'm not going to give Vanity Fair my clicks, but yes, she is on the cover of Vanity Fair for July and August, and it says Phoebe Waller-Bridge has a date with Destiny. For some reason, Hollywood has been really obsessing over her over the past few years. It started with Fleabag, and then she, of course, got Indiana Jones, now she's getting Tomb Raider. It just really seems like people in the industry love, her brand of content, aka the narratives and frankly the feminism that she shoves into every project she's part of, but they decided to ask her about Tomb Raider, what they were planning, how deep into the planning stages they were, how excited she was for this. And I think it's important to start this off with saying I love Tomb Raider, I love the video games, I've even enjoyed the previous movies, but recently, the newest trilogy and of course the latest film with Alicia Vikander did definitely stray a bit away from what I would want out of Tomb Raider, and when we heard that Amazon was doing a Tomb Raider series, any hopes I had for it really went out the window. They've messed too many things up like Wheel of Time, Rings of Power. I really didn't expect them to do good with Tomb Raider. I would love it if they didn't mess it up, but unfortunately my expectations have been pretty low, especially with Phoebe being attached to it. But now she's decided to talk about the boob conversation they've been having on set. So it says we have finally arrived at our destination, a narrow sliver of a cafe with the most extravagantly gooey cheese toasties. We end up trading breast-related stories because that seems like a thing you should do when you're hanging out with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The boob conversation. Oh, we're in it, we're having it, she announces gleefully as customers at a nearby table make their exit. Breast references pop up a lot in her writing, and Waller-Bridge says it became a heated topic in the Tomb Raider writer's room. Should Lara Croft have an athletic build or a canonically busty figure? She's a Tomb Raider, so she's incredibly fit, she says. She has to squeeze through tiny rock crevices all the time. It is a different experience squeezing through a small rock crevice when you have larger boobs than if you have smaller boobs. So this instantly makes me think that they are definitely looking for a smaller chested individual. So she says that it is a heated topic, and I would assume that it is because, of course, they're going to have some people in the writer's room, at least one, maybe two, who actually know the source material and know how Lara Croft has looked over the years, and people who might actually want to keep it as close to those original versions of her as possible. But then you have people like Phoebe who are all for, of course, modern audiences and updating these beloved characters because they think that, they're too sexualized and they should look a little bit different. Now, when it comes to Tomb Raider, going into the latest movie and trilogy, they already had changed her character a bit. I enjoyed Alicia Vikander's Lara Croft, but clearly they chose a much more toned down woman to play her. They didn't choose someone who was a blowout bombshell with a giant rack like someone Angelina Jolie, for example. And in my opinion, she did a decent job as the character, but the problem with Phoebe Waller-Bridge is that she will take everything to the most extreme point she can. She will find a way to make this version of Lara different because let's be honest, all she really cares about is making things different and updated for newer audiences. She is going to, at some point, I would bet money on this, that she will say, Lara Croft has been misunderstood in the past. People only view her as a sex object, and I wanted to change her. I wanted to make her different. Because, of course, she always has to make the conversation about herself. She says something like, should Lara Croft have an athletic build or a canonically busty figure? I obviously want the best actress for the job to get the job, but I just have a feeling they're not looking for those busty actresses. They're looking for a very small-chested actress, and that's the way that it's going to be, especially with her behind this project. She also uses the excuse that, she has to squeeze through tiny rock crevices all the time. Clearly, she has not seen the other Tomb Raider films because the stunts are insane. Half the time, things don't even make sense. Like Alicia Vikanders, again, I thought she did a good job, but that movie made absolutely no sense how she never ended up with, a sprained ankle or broken bones. Like, that's the issue with them talking about realism, is that you can't make something like Tomb Raider and have it be realistic because of the crazy stunts and scenarios they're getting themselves into, not just Lara, but all of the characters in the series. And for her to say, she has to squeeze through tiny rock crevices all the time, so it would be unrealistic if she had bigger boobs, is such a slap in the face to women that are bustier, because it's like saying, you can't be an adventurer because you have a larger chest. Why does she think that this is a good argument in any case? It just sounds so insulting to women that have a larger chest. And you have to consider that, of course, Angelina Jolie had played Lara Croft in the past, and they actually did give her a padded bra to make her a little bit bustier, to bring her cup size up to a D like Lara Croft's originally was, according to game designers. But just to say this is such an insulting thing, like, if you have a larger chest, you can't be a Tomb Raider because it's unrealistic. And we've known that she was going to put her own personal spin onto this series. Recently, we got, another interview with her confirming that she's working on Tomb Raider, and she revealed what she was planning to bring to the franchise. She spoke with IGN and told the outlet, there's so much I can incorporate. I mean, the character of Lara was inspired by Indiana Jones and James Bond, so there's so much, and it just felt like the perfect final step in my own personal adventure through this kind of franchise world. She has successfully damaged Indiana Jones, she has successfully damaged James Bond, and now she's coming for Tomb Raider. I love the idea of, as Steven Spielberg describes it, the greatest show on earth, as in being able to make things with that scale and to go on adventures that big, and for the comedy and the heart to be matched, but on this kind of great level. I personally do not find any of her humor funny, and I'm sure that this series is also going to feature a lot of it, which will probably turn a lot of us off, but it says, actually, through all of the adventure stuff I've learned from those franchises, it's actually how to keep something feeling grounded as well as allowing it to be bigger than itself in some way. So basically, she has just gone on to spout a bunch of different things and about how the way she wants it to be. But given her track record, the series will have a massive injection of feminism and wokeness, something she brought to her Fleabag series, as well as Solo, of course, Indiana Jones, and James Bond. I just have no trust in this individual given her track record. I would love to sit here and be really excited for this series and give it a fair chance, go into it with an open mind, but I can't. Phoebe WallerBridge has no projects under her belt where I've gone, wow, that was actually decent, or wow, I actually found enjoyment out of that. There are none, which is the issue with her. I do not think that she deserves to work on Tomb Raider, and I do not think that she is going to do this franchise or the characters justice. But yes, now she's going into interviews talking about how behind the scenes they're having the the boob conversation because they just aren't sure how to address the way that Lara Croft has previously looked, and she's not sure how this character is going to look in her new Tomb Raider. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.